A group of researchers recently filed a lawsuit against the DEA, asking a federal court to force the agency to respond to its application to manufacture marijuana for research purposes. The researchers argued that cannabis produced by the only federally authorized cultivation facility at the University of Mississippi is of poor quality and inadequate for their clinical trial on the use of marijuana to treat post-traumatic stress disorder among veterans. It's an argument that's supported by a recent study which found that the cannabis from the sole approved source is genetically closer to hemp than it is to marijuana that's available to consumers in state legal markets. The Scottsdale Research Institute said it submitted an application to cultivate its own cannabis to the DEA about 3 years ago, around the time that the agency announced that it would be accepting applications for additional research-grade marijuana manufacturers. That application, as well as several letters from members of Congress inquiring about the application process, have gone ignored, SRI said. SRI hoped that the DEA would accept additional manufacturer applicants before this summer, but there has been no progress despite years of lobbying, so they are now seeking a remedy through the courts. Lego wants to change the material it uses to make its branded toy bricks loved by children around the world. The company is currently using a plastic resin, but by 2030, it wants to use a more environmentally friendly, cost-effective materials. And this material is hemp plastic. That's right, the kids are going green. Hemp is in fact an ideal base material for the manufacture of plastic because of its high cellulose content, which varies between 70 and 80%. A company named Zeoform has been working for several years on the advancement of biodegradable hemp technologies. The company boasts a new type of very robust plastic made entirely from hemp. The material can be injected or blow molded in countless products, ranging from buttons to straws, home furniture, frisbees, and even toy building blocks. Proposed regulations in Massachusetts surrounding MJ business opportunities in social consumption and home delivery are on the calendar for next month, when officials will take public testimony on both. According to MassLive.com, the first Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission hearing will be August 14th at the Health Policy Commission in Boston. A second hearing will be held August 15th at Western New England University School of Law in Springfield. The Commission already approved draft regulations last month, but has until September to adopt final rules to govern cannabis cafes and delivery operators. Under the draft rules, such businesses' permits would be reserved only for applicants that qualify under Massachusetts' Social Equity Program and for entrepreneurs who already have micro-businesses or craft cooperative licenses from the Commission. Delivery and social consumption licenses would be open to more applicants after 2 years. A start date to delivery and social consumption operations hasn't been announced. Cannabis business opportunities could expand in Michigan after regulators released new wide-ranging emergency regulations Wednesday. For example, recreational marijuana businesses won't face the capital requirements that medical cannabis businesses do. An MJ business needs at least $200,000 to $500,000 in assets. Other highlights of measures signed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer include medical and recreational cannabis can be sold in the same store as long as they are physically separated. A new cultivation license category raises the cap on how many plants a site can grow. Marijuana smoking lounges will be allowed, including at retail stores, but those businesses will not be allowed to serve food or alcohol. Social consumption licenses can be issued for special events. The rules were released to give Michigan's local governments time to decide if they want to ban recreational marijuana businesses before state regulators begin accepting business license applications. The emergency rules expire in 6 months. As the cannabis market grows, consumption methods are expanding beyond bongs, joints, and edibles. Now you can put a tiny strip of cannabis film under your tongue. Sublingual strips have quickly become a burgeoning part of the market because of their fast-acting effectiveness and discreetness. But how exactly do these tiny little film strips work? Sublingual cannabis strips work by interacting with the body's oral mucosa, the absorbent membranes under your tongue. The most important thing to remember when using a sublingual cannabis film is to put it under your tongue. Putting the strip on top of your tongue keeps it from adhering to the oral mucosa, which is specifically formulated to deliver optical effects. Many brands of sublingual strips struggle with this misunderstanding, largely because people mistakenly associate sublingual cannabis strips with mouth fresheners like Listerine breath strips. And to be fair, some of the strips on the market do add a minty flavour, the best for masking the sour cannabinoid and terpenes. But cannabinoid strips work differently than a dissolvable breath strip. And if you place them on top of your tongue, you'll likely be disappointed. The marijuana inventory tracking system for the world's largest cannabis market, California, isn't fully online, despite its rollout in January, but it's getting there. The slow transition to the new system involved confusion, headaches, and extra costs. Industry watchers note that legislation has brought with it a new world of red tape. By and large, California's marijuana companies are dealing successfully with the daily logistics of reporting product inventory to the state through the California Cannabis Track and Trace system. It is powered by a metric made by Florida-based Franwell. But the system continues to prove effectively symbolic in many ways. Several industry experts said because not every legal company has started using it, only those with provisional or annual licenses. That means there isn't complete accountability to regulators for every legal product that makes its way through the supply chain. As a result, many that are forced to use the system also don't really see the point, aside from it being another state mandate. After what seemed to be a brief hiatus, social media giants are once again suspending and outright deleting the accounts of marijuana companies. Some industry officials say this is a result of spiteful competitors flagging posts and reporting pages to the platform's moderators, costing businesses thousands of dollars in lost time and labor when pages are taken down. And despite the cannabis industry's rapid growth and steady eroding of the stigma against marijuana use in mainstream circles, the social media platforms with the most users, Facebook and Facebook-owned Instagram in particular, have proved inconsistent about their official policies surrounding MJ business pages. This leaves marijuana companies wondering how to best follow the rules to avoid seeing their social media accounts shut down or frozen. In October 2018, MarketWatch reported that Facebook would stop blocking marijuana-related searches, and it had previously done for legitimate businesses with the word cannabis or marijuana in the name. However, just a month later, Facebook and Instagram accounts for at least 6 marijuana companies in Massachusetts were reported deactivated. Among the casualties were Cultivate and New England Treatment Access, which were the first 2 stores in the state allowed to begin selling recreational cannabis. And that's an example from only one part of the country. Ontario-based licensed cannabis grower CanTrust was sanctioned by Health Canada for conducting unlicensed cultivation for 6 months and providing inaccurate information to the federal regulator. CanTrust's greenhouse facility in Pelham, Ontario, received a non-compliant rating by Health Canada for operating 5 unlicensed rooms. At least 12,500 kilos of marijuana is being held back from the market, which will result in product shortages for its medical patients and adult use customers, the company said Monday. For context, the company harvests 9,400 kilograms in the entirety of the last financial quarter. A product can be assigned a non-compliant rating based on the number and seriousness of the violations found by the Health Canada's inspectors. It is only the 4th rating of non-compliance Health Canada has handed out since March 2017, after conducting more than 257 inspections. All previous instances came after the regulator uncovered critical observations which can be made for a deficiency that will increase diversion and/or cause health risks. In fiscal year 2018, Agrima Botanicals received a non-compliant rating. A natural med company earned 2 such ratings. Warning letters were handed out in all 3 cases.